What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the No Clears podcast. I am your gracious host, T from the DMV, straight out of Prince George's County, and I'm here with my good brother, the young Black King, here back once again. My man's Jay. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, living the dream. Got a lot of energy today for some reason. I'm really hyper. It's weird. I don't understand what's going on.
Does
I ain't
not
drink no
sound
coffee or
like you have
nothing.
energy, but I'll take your word.
I feel it. I feel like I'm zooming back in full effect.
All right, bro. Got a surprise for you, fam.
What's the surprise?
Check this out, bro. Nigga got glasses.
How's this a surprise? You told me
I
about
got
this.
glasses, bro.
You literally sent
bro?
me a picture.
How I look, bro? Honest opinion.
You like Professor Ogilvy.
Dang.
Hi, Professor.
You gonna say that, bro?
Hi, Professor.
To all of our viewers,
Damn it, Miss
let
Parker.
me know. Let me know what you think.
Damn it, Miss Parker.
Anyway, my
Are
vision
those
is
your blue light glasses.
My vision is 2020, but
Those are your blue light glasses.
Yeah, since I'm an engineer and all, they was like, since you're gonna be staring at screens all your life, you might want to get these glasses.
These glasses are blue light glasses. They got like a my glasses, they got like this green little tinge on the inside.
Yeah.
I think that's what's for. I think that's what it's for. It could be for anything. Who knows? Who knows?
All right. If you are listening to this podcast, please make sure you give us a 5-star review if you're on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. What can they do if they're listening on Spotify, bro?
Nothing. Just follow us. It literally, Apple's the only thing that lets you rate and review.
If you're listening,
not even Google Podcasts lets you do that. If you watch on YouTube, you can like, you could share, you could subscribe, you could hit that notification bell, you can do all that jazz.
Leave a comment if you watching on YouTube. Please leave a comment.
Yes.
So yeah, and let's shout out somebody else who gave us another 5-star rating.
Oh all yeah. Right. Oh, we doing that already?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out, man. Shout out to
get to it.
Shout out to Luis Riv 89.
Oh my
Louis
goodness.
Riv. I think that's Louis. Louis Riv 89.
Isn't it Luis Ruiz?
No. It's literally LUISRIV 89.
Oh.
Can you read?
I thought it was honestly, I skimmed it. Anyway, what do you say? What do you say?
It says great titles and laughs. Love this podcast. Can't get enough. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Louise Rib 89. And then I see you left the rating.
Oh, that's when I made that video when I was showing everyone how to do it. I didn't know it saved.
Yeah.
Well, we rated ourselves. Great podcast. All right, man.
Let's get a little bit more to the episode. We got our Black women crush, and I thank you, Black man, for the week.
Yes.
So, Jay, this is your week for our Black women crush. So, go ahead, do your thing, bro.
All right, let me just get my notes up. I wrote a lot down. This woman has done a lot. She's done a lot. I had to write it down. There's a lot she's done. All right. So, my Black woman crush Wednesday is Rosalind Brewer. If you don't know who Rosalind Brewer is, she is currently the COO for Starbucks, which is the second highest executive position at Starbucks. The only person higher than her is the CEO, and she's a Black woman. So that's dope. And it was just recently announced that on March 15th, she will no longer be the CEO of Starbucks, but she will be the CEO of Walgreens.
Oh.
And she will be the first, not the first. No, I'm not sure if it's the first. But she will be the only Black woman to be CEO of a Fortune 500 company. The only Black woman that is a CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
At the moment.
Okay.
Well,
as of March 15th, she will be the only one. I don't know if she's the first one. I didn't see nothing that said she was, but it's dope as shit. And she's been when she was named CEO of Starbucks, remember when them 2 young Black men got arrested at the Starbucks in Philly?
Yep.
She was just hired right before that happened, and she led the charge on changing all the policies in Starbucks and made sure that everyone went to over 8,000 Starbucks locations, held racial bias training and all that good stuff and programs to teach them how to deal with different races, to make sure everyone is treated equally and all that good jazz.
So she was responsible for them closing for that one day and doing that training.
Yeah, for over 8,000 stores. She was also the first Black woman to be a CEO for a division of a Walmart store. So like she used to be the CEO of Sam's Club.
Stop playing.
No, I'm dead ass. She was CEO of Sam's Club.
My parents been going to Sam's Club every Saturday at 6 a.m. since I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was CEO in 2012. I don't know for how long she was CEO. I'm assuming until about 2017 when she was named CEO of Starbucks. So there's that.
That's awesome.
She's also the chair of the board of trustees for Spelman.
Okay.
Dope. She's been there since 2011, so over 10 years. And in 2013, she was named the most powerful Black woman of 2013 by Forbes.
What school did she go to?
She went to Spelman.
For what she go to grad? Or did she get an MBA or anything like that?
I did not look into that. I just assumed she got all that stuff. I didn't even look to what college she went to because she did so much. I mean, the woman is the CEO of Walgreens. What matter what college she went to?
No, I wanted to know her, like, I want to know her resume. See, because most people who CEOs, all of them, somehow got an MBA. So I was just curious.
And she's also on the board of trustees for Amazon as of 2019. So
good for her.
She is a beast.
That's fire.
For sure.
That's fire.
Yeah, this is my first good one. Well, not my first good one, but this is my first one that's not like an actor or anybody.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Actor or athlete.
That's
very true. Love acting. I just love acting and athletes, man.
I mean, everybody does, bro. Everybody does.
She went to the University of Chicago Booth School of Business / Stanford Law School, but she did her undergrad at Spelman.
That's what's up.
And then she got her advanced management. She went to the advanced management program at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania.
Ooh, Philly, right in the heart. Straight Ivy League. Yeah. That's what's up. All right.
Yep.
What's her name again, bro?
She got a bachelor's degree at Spelman in chemistry.
You could really go to undergrad for anything.
Yeah, you sure can. It doesn't even matter.
What's her name again?
Rosalind Brewer.
And
she's married to a Black man.
That's right.
It's not Corey Brewer. I looked that up. I forgot his name. He does something.
It's not really relevant. He
doesn't really. He doesn't have like as big of a job as her.
Well, he's married to a Black woman.
Good looking guy.
And that's the important part. He's married to a Black woman. That's all that really matters.
Good looking guy.
All right, man.
Who is your thank you Black man this week, my brother?
Thank you, sir. My thank you Black man this week goes out to Jason Wilson. Jason Wilson, first of all, incredible beard, sir.
Yes, and he has a sword. It's the first picture you see.
Let me talk.
I'm just saying, it's the first picture you see when you Google him. It's dope. I thought it was cool.
Let me talk. Jason Wilson. He is author of the book Cry Like a Man, which I've been meaning to read. He is the founder and CEO of the nonprofit known as Union. Under that organization, he has a program called the Cave of Adullam. And this teaches boys how to conquer and confront their negative emotions with composure. The mission of the cave is to teach, train, and transform uninitiated boys into a generation of men who are physically conscious, mentally astute, and spiritually strong enough to navigate through the pressures of this world without succumbing to their negative emotions. There's some results of the men that have come out of this program. Says 56% of parents report a decrease in school suspensions and an increase in making more positive decisions. 78% of their recruits improved their GPA in 16 weeks without academic tutoring. 98% of their parents report their sons have grown spiritually and become more stable emotionally since becoming a Cave of Adullam recruit. This organization is based out of Detroit, doing a great thing for the men in Detroit. You can follow him on Instagram. I believe it's Cave313 to see, some cool videos of him really helping these young boys like handle their emotions. So
did you just say in Detroit you can follow him on Instagram?
I don't know. No, I said he's based in Detroit and you can follow him on Instagram.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. It'd be funny going back and listening to the podcast sometimes, and we'd be like, bro, we really said that. We really said that. Yeah, his Instagram is the Instagram for the Cave of Adullam is Cave313. So you can go in there for some good positivity and stuff like that. But I just want to say thank you to Jason Wilson for all the things he's doing for the young men. It's definitely emotional training is something we don't get, especially as men. Yeah. I mean, I feel like men and women need it, but especially men,
in the Black community.
Black community for sure, because we just, they'll just tell you suck it up instead of like, hey, why are you feeling this way? It's okay and all this stuff. So we just want to say thank you to him, man. Thank you. Indeed. All right. I'm not sure if I got a rant, but give me 30 seconds.
You don't got a rant. Nothing grinded your gears this week. Nothing got under your skin. Nothing you gotta get off your chest.
Nothing I want to talk about on the podcast, but give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds anyway.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, man. To everybody out there, it's about to get warm out. Sundress season is coming. All I gotta say to my fellas, just act accordingly, act appropriately. Look, y'all about to get y'all vaccines. Y'all about to be out there back in the streets. Just, let's show some respect, even while you gonna make your plays. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? We can do this right. We can do this the right way this year, fellas. I'm married, so I'm out the game.
I did not like that rant.
Why not?
It wasn't a rant. You just was talking. I don't know. It was a state of address.
Why can't I'm not? This is so I don't waste time during the podcast. I mean during the interview. So I don't waste time during the interview.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Dirty joke of the week, fam.
Dirty joke of the week. All right. I got you. So an old woman walked into a dentist's office, took off all her clothes, and spread her legs.
Well, a dentist's office.
A dentist's office. The dentist said, "I think you have the wrong room." She goes, You put in my husband's teeth last week." And he goes, "Huh?" She replied, "Well, you have to remove them."
I can't with this. I can't with this.
That's my favorite one. I like that. It's so nasty. Because she needs a dentist to remove them.
Yeah.
She got teeth down there.
Well, shout out to the old man, bro. Taking risks, penitentiary chances. That's not penitentiary changes, but that's a real helpful. Why can't you just take his teeth out?
I don't know why he didn't take his teeth out.
Hey, you think he'd do it better if you had no teeth?
I don't think it works that way. Just be gumming down it.
Oh Lord, girl, let me take my teeth out.
What album we talking about this week, bro?
Bro, we are blessed to be talking about the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill this week by Miss Lauryn Hill.
Yes,
that's how you find her on stream service. You guys put Miss Lauryn Hill. I tried to ask Alexa to play something by Lauryn Hill, and some random person starts singing. I was like, this ain't Lauryn Hill. So
apparently she changed it when she got a little bit older. She was like, call me Miss Lauryn Hill and not just Lauryn Hill because I'm older now.
also, this album officially this month went diamond.
Oh snap! Really? It took that long to go diamond?
Diamond is 10 million copies, fam.
Okay.
But it's
20
not
years old.
Yeah, but I don't think that's like, of course people probably streamed it a lot, but I wonder what counts as like a whole copy. You know, that's pretty big. Like that's pretty big. No, 10 million plus copies over 20 years. That album is still relevant today.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to talk about it.
Greats.
We'll introduce who we talking about it with later, but I'm excited. So yeah, bro. You ready to get into it?
We're going straight to the interview.
Let's go. All right, y'all. We have a special guest with us today. Jay, let me get this background music. Whatever it is. I don't know.
What background music?
Anyway, this lovely women we have with us today.
Woman,
a singular person.
Woman, you said
singular
like plural.
Person. Okay. For one, we got a former baller, sharpshooter, straight from three. All right. Going in every time. All right.
Back in the day.
This is one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. Okay. She is a painter, a musician, a poet.
Oh, dang. She multifaceted.
On top of all of that, she is a coffee influencer. I've never heard of this in my life, but she really does it. She got a whole pop-up shop in the city. You know what I'm saying? If you're ever in DC, man, y'all can look for Rhema Jordan. I'll call her Jordan. How you doing?
I'm well. Blessed. I'm blessed to be here. Thanks for having me on.
It's such a pleasure.
Today, appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
When you say coffee influencer, does that mean, this is a stupid question. I know it's a stupid question. When you say coffee influencer, do you mean you influence coffee to be good?
Tyler really stuck to that one. We had a whole family friend discussion about that title because I was going back and forth between coffee influencer and coffee curator. So I have a coffee pop-up studio. So I serve pour over coffee in DC, kind of for events and other pop-ups and in connection to my art studio practice. So I actually serve coffee from a small roastery in Vancouver, British Columbia called Harkin. So I use their actual coffee beans, but it's more of just like the way that I share coffee. It's very much about, it's like coffee as a meditation. It's sharing the whole process of making it, brewing it in a pour over setting. And and then I also kind of channel that into my social media as well and share like imagery and of me making coffee or just coffee design, tools and things like that I enjoy. So it's definitely like an art for me, and then it's kind of a joke, like an ongoing joke, but it's a serious thing that I'm a coffee influencer. But I kind of I kind of hold to the term coffee curator because I just feel like I'm more so presenting it for people to to experience and enjoy.
It wasn't for her. Like, she got my wife to start grinding the coffee beans and doing the pour overs at home. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out Drew. Shout out
to Drew.
I don't drink coffee.
No,
unfortunately. I did for a little bit, and then I started getting the shakes. So I was like, I got to get away from all this caffeine. I used to get the shakes. I work overnight, so like I have to try different things to keep myself awake.
Right.
And coffee used to give me the shakes. I don't know why.
Dang. You gotta listen to your body though, for sure.
Yeah.
That's deep. All right, y'all.
It was the finger wagger for me.
Man, we here to talk about, some would say, just one of the greatest artists of all time.
Mhm.
Personally, if I had hip hop wise, I'm gonna just get real nerdy real quick. My favorites, right? I got Andre 3000 as like the all time greatest hip hop artist. I go Jay-Z at 2. We got Big and Nas. And I think I'm putting Lauryn Hill at 5.
Okay.
I think as a hip hop artist, I really think we don't get a Kanye West without Lauryn Hill. I don't think we get a Chance the Rapper. Anybody off of Kanye West Street, J. Cole. A lot of people have sampled this woman. A lot of people, like, their styles have come from her, especially this album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And it's like, we got to give this woman her credit. Yeah. By the way, this month, the album went diamond officially. So it has sold over 10 million copies.
That's dope.
It's 1998. Shit is crazy.
That's a lot. 10 million of anything is a lot.
Right.
That's super timely, then.
I know. We did not plan on having this episode the time that announcement came out.
Yeah.
We planned this before 2021 even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. It's beautiful timing.
Cool.
Beautiful timing. Jordan.
Yeah.
I could. How big of a Lauryn Hill fan would you say you are? Like what got you, if you are into it, like what got you into Lauryn Hill?
Yeah. No, I was listening to Lauryn Hill when I was mad young. Like I'm talking like 7th and 8th grade, maybe even 6th grade, to be honest.
Oh, dang.
Somewhere between 6th and 8th grade. Probably 7th grade was a sweet spot. But the Unplugged, the MTV Unplugged album really hit me. And I mean, I when I think back, I was actually very much into like soul, and even some like older kind of like older R&B, older kind of like funk soul, like music used to move me as like a 12-year-old and like Lauryn and like really speak to me. And then I remember the Unplugged album, like it spoke to me musically, creatively, from a like spiritual perspective, like it resonated at a very deep level. So yeah, Lauryn Hill has always been a major inspiration for me in my just philosophy of making art, and like just that vulnerability, that kind of pushing up against the grain of like what society is saying or saying is important. I think that's what the Unplugged album, she was out here like dismantling capitalism and systemic ideas about, success in the industry. And I just was like, even with the little bit of knowledge I had at such a young age, it just really, really hit, it really spoke to me. So yeah, that's where I started with her. And then obviously the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, like that album is just, it's a groove. Like it's funky, but then it also has that sultry. It has a lot of components, and I listened back to it before this, and yeah, it just her music just moves you at a deep kind of soul level. It's hard to articulate, and it's something you can always go back to and just feel. It doesn't matter how long I hadn't listened to it, any of the songs from her albums in a minute, and but listening back, I'm just like going in jamming, like you just instantly start jamming, like you feel it. Yeah.
The MTV Unplugged album, as you said, like very, very good. And
is that the one where she was crying?
Yeah.
When she started crying?
She started crying, like she losing her voice in the middle of the song. She just really didn't care. She was like, I don't got time to be resting my voice. Like, I'm a mom. I'm gonna take care of my kids. I'm gonna come out here and perform anyway. We get the All Falls Down sample from that album. That's why it's one of my favorite reasons for the album. but that it was dope. It was dope.
Mhm.
Jay, let me ask you, bro. Let me ask you. When you think miseducation, what comes to your mind? The miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but the word miseducation, what comes to your mind?
Learning, not learning wrong, but like learning something in a way that isn't correct. If that makes sense, like just not taught correctly.
Mhm.
That's what comes to mind when you think of miseducation. Like you weren't taught correctly.
Yeah. Um.
I don't know. I never even thought about that before, to be honest.
Hmm.
Like, what does miseducation mean?
Jordan, how
I
do
guess.
you? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. I guess like that means for me, it speaks like having to relearn something properly. Um, like you've been miseducated, like you've been misled, and I do feel like a lot of her music, like I said, kind of goes against the grain, not just at a industry on an industry level, but I was even listening to like X Factor, and I was just like, damn, like she's very real. She's talking about both sides of the coin, and listen, that's real. Like there's never one side to an experience. And I think a lot of kind of mainstream music or artistic expression, not to say that either is wrong, but it's just like Lauryn Hill, I think, makes it a point to be like, listen, this song is like gonna be about the full story, about the full lesson. It's like the full narrative, right? And for me, that resonates because like I learned by like I learned through doing and like experiencing things fully. And then as an artist, I feel like that's where I get a lot of my inspiration and desire to express, because like I'm experiencing things in like such full capacity, which is not always easy. You know, a lot of the time the other side of that coin is like something painful or something challenging. But I think to be able to like then put those lessons out, you know, through your art form, or put those just stories out, you know, through your art form, I feel like she really does that. Like, yeah, there's like a few songs that come to mind specifically, but I think she's just really being like, even like how she was in the Unplugged, just very vulnerable with through her art form.
I ain't even well, I know the words, but it never dawned on me that she really does always try to give both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Even X Factor or Doo Wop, or that thing, like
Yeah.
she really is like, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
We're all at fault
I
here.
get.
So go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say I get that too. Like it does. Listening to a lot of her music, it does come off as like she's, especially when I was listening to Zion when she's explaining like to her son like how life's gonna be, and like it could be hard, it could be easy, but she's just like letting him know that like life is life, live life, and just like I don't know, it's just like you said, both sides of the coin. It's just like it's beautiful, to be honest, like how she can just express both sides and really like let you know that like either side is a thing.
No, Zion is that probably like one of my favorite songs off the album. Like it's so emotional and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, and it's very poetic too. I think that's
Yeah.
another thing I love about her. Is she really, her lyrics are very poetic. Like if you take away the music
Yeah.
and read the lyrics, which I read a lot of lyrics. I'm like I'm a big words person. So sometimes I would just go deep in like reread lyrics to songs, even if I know the song. And yeah, no, especially Zion. That's a whole poem.
It really is.
Yeah, it felt like that. Like even when you put the music back in it with the guitar strokes and all that, it's just like it just makes you feel like it just puts you in that space of like soothingness, like somber and like calm.
Yeah, it's because it's coming from like I really do believe her music is soul music, and like I play a bit of guitar and sing as well, and like I think that was probably like truly, I think she was the biggest influence for me musically, because I'm self-taught on the guitar, and I don't, it's not like I play super extensive or complex things. It's very simple, but it's about what I'm trying to like communicate, and it's about the lyrics, and I feel like that's all you need, that's all you really need sometimes.
Every time I go to
messages.
Jordan's spot, I pick up that guitar.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, was it her guitar who you used when you made the R&B song?
Yeah, that was her guitar.
Yo, I feel like you was getting somewhere with it last time.
I felt like it.
You looked in your. Didn't you say like, I think I'm gonna really try to pick this up?
Yeah, it feel good. It just feel, and then I just do that little like pat the guitar, make that little pat sound. Oh my goodness, that's too fire. It's too fire, man.
Nah, you should get into it.
I would say, whenever I decide to have a kid, either Zion or one of the J. Cole songs is gonna be the first thing I listen to. Like I find out. Oh, don't let it be a boy. Good Lord. They're gonna be on repeat. Oh man. So Jordan, how has the if you've been going through the process, how is the process of relearning? I think we all go through this, but how is the process of relearning going for you? That's a real general. So let's just say, as an artist, do you feel like you've had to relearn anything?
Relearn, like about myself or about just living?
Wherever you want to take it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100. The answer is 100% yes. But I'm trying to think of an example. I feel like for me, I feel like I've been learning a lot about myself for the past 3-4 years. I felt like I always knew like who I was, what my passions were, what my values were from a young age. And then I think I reached a point where I started to embrace my just how like kind of alternative and different I see the world. And then I started getting in touch with like my different art forms. And then I was just like, that really started to shape that started to really shape how I lived my life, which is very like, non-traditional, my lifestyle, very non-traditional, very much like in my own vein of just trying to like create for a living and also trying to build something that's sustainable, something that's long-standing. And in the process of that, it's a lot of learning about myself, good and bad, like learning about my, how I operate, my intensity as a person, how I need a certain level of flexibility and flow to my life, while also being this like very particular kind of person who wants things to be done in a certain way and in the way that I envision. So it's the balance, it's the ebbs and flows of that for me, and trying to channel all that to get things done, to create, to put things out, and you know what I'm saying? I think if I had to pick out something that I've learned about myself, it's that I'm very adaptable, and I actually enjoy like changing forms. And I think I use that phrasing a lot, but I think in my art, when I talk about love, when I talk about experiences, because I really just don't believe that anything is static or remains the same. I think that everything is always changing. And when I remind myself of that about myself and about life, I just be like, yeah, like everything's gonna be okay. Or like things are gonna kind of shift into what they need to be as long as you keep moving. Like this idea of movement for me has enabled me to kind of accept that adaptability and change and movement. And I think that's the thing that I've learned and accepted the most.
Be like water.
And I'm a Pisces, and it's Pisces season. Birthday's coming up in a few weeks.
It definitely is.
Very appropriate. Water. Yep, that's me.
I was gonna ask, you said that you're very particular, and then you said that your strength is being adaptable. Have like you being like super particular like ever like gave you an issue with being adaptable, like being particular in certain things, like messed with your adaptability?
For sure.
You want things done your way. So
yeah, definitely. It's like I almost want things to I think it's like it stems from a desire for things to be done in the best way possible. shout out to my pops, resting easy. Like he just wanted things done like, so well. And I think I inherited that, like, oh wait, how can we get this done in the best way possible? So then that will inhibit me from either doing the thing or like communicating clearly what I want to be accomplished. Or in personal relationships, it's almost like it definitely can become debilitating a bit, or can put unnecessary pressure on self or others. But in fact, I do have this adaptable nature. So it's almost like getting out of that headspace, even if just for a moment, to be like, like, just let things flow, just let things flow.
You you have been able to be a full-time artist. I don't know how you do it. I just want to give you like some real your flowers for being able to
Yeah, that sounds
just
hard.
you just have a certain will that you just gonna get this done. I'm gonna get this money how I get it. But I'm gonna live a life the way I want to live. How has the like this independent lifestyle what are like the ups and downs for you? What have you
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That's encouragement right there, because definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. But the ups, well, I'll start with the downside. So the downside is, obviously like kind of the inconsistency of the thing, and how, nothing is promised or guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that people will support my art, that people purchase paintings or buy coffee or believe in what I'm doing, or give me kind of opportunity. So that's the downside, is just that nothing is kind of guaranteed. But and there's a certain level of kind of faith that you have to like really always go back to, and that's just in the world we live in, that is very driven by capitalism and money and sustainability. Like, it's just not an easy lifestyle to live, but at the same time, it definitely channels into an upside, because you learn to kind of live by faith. Well, I've learned to very much live by faith in a very tangible way, because, as grew up in the church and very connected to my spirituality, my faith, my relationship with God. That's always been a part of me. But I think growing and becoming who I am now, I'm like enacting that very differently. And it's just by like literally my life and what I'm doing and what I'm believing in. But at the same time, I do enjoy living well. And I believe I don't think anybody's meant to, I think you're meant to live an abundant life, especially if you have the opportunity to create that for yourself. So we're not out here trying to starve or anything like that. We're trying to live well and have not, have the best, what this side of life offers. And so the upside, of being independent is being able to like create and cultivate that for myself, at whatever scale I'm able to do it. So it's like I prioritize my own life and what I need to attain the things that are of value to me, especially as a independent, like single person who doesn't have like responsibilities really outside of myself. We got Kintsugi. That's
shout
my
out to Kensu.
Yeah, shout out Kensu. We got the dog, we got the puppy, we got to feed him, all that good stuff. But, fortunately right now, I can just work on sustaining me and the independent artist lifestyle. I enjoy the flow. I enjoy the freedom and the ability to create the life that I want to live. And then just trusting that I'm going to be able to do it in a way that's that my reach extends beyond me. It starts with me, but it doesn't end with me.
Would you say that like your passion for what you're doing drives you to keep going?
Definitely. And that passion, like, I'm, just being transparent, it's not like I wake up every day like in the same state of like passion and excitement. Like, there's definitely days where I'm just feeling depleted, especially when the responsibilities of life kind of like weigh on you. But there are days that I wake up like very inspired and like passionate, or like have a dream about something creative. Like, that happened actually pretty recently. And that those moments are very reassuring, because they're like, yeah, Like this is beyond, like, again, this is something that's a little bit beyond you. Like it's you, but like you're definitely kind of you're on the right path. Like, you know, have those reminders, and those kind of give me the boost that I need to kind of keep going. Yeah.
You mentioned having faith. That's a big part of this album. You know, after the hits, you get a lot of songs from Lauryn Hill, like Final Hour, Forgive Them Father, or Tell Them. So, I mean, I think you kind of talked about it, but like, how has faith really, you know, played a part in just the everyday life that you live in?
Yeah. So I think that the most simple answer to that for me right now too is something I talk about often with one of my friends who's a fellow creative. And we always talk about this idea of surrender. So faith to me is a level of relinquishing control, which I think we all at some level desire and need, especially in our society. But like to operate in faith is to kind of like let go and not be afraid to kind of be empty or lacking a bit temporarily, because you have this expectation that you're going to be filled with the things that you need.
That is actually pretty that's very on point. I was just on the phone with one of my boys like 30 minutes ago. He trying to figure out what his next move gonna be. He telling me like, bro, I mean, I got enough money to just chill for a little bit, but I just feel like I gotta hurry up and find a job or something. I'm like, dog, you gotta just be still. Like, it's perfectly okay to do nothing. Like, sometimes you just gotta because the situation may not be, you know, where you want it right now, and sometimes you just gotta let God go to work.
Yeah.
You know? So many things that's happening around you. It's kind of it's pretty crazy that things just work that way.
Yeah.
And letting go. It's a very hard concept.
It's not easy though. And like there's such a spectrum too of people, like especially in this time, right? There's people who are like doing well, like very well, like especially these bigger industries, you know, $1 billion industries that are just like racking in money. Like those people, those CEOs are sitting nice. And then there's people who haven't had work forever and they don't have access to money, you know, they're hurting. And there's people somewhere in the middle, and there's people, you know, there's this huge, I think about that a lot actually, especially in the pandemic, is that there's such a gap, right, between people's experiences. And like even on social media, you kind of see a representation of people just even through the pandemic. And I know people experiencing a lot of like pain and loss. A lot of people are like going on vacations, and you know what I'm saying, they have extra money because of stimulus or this or that on top of their jobs. So yeah, I don't know. You wonder about like how some people kind of maybe like don't they haven't been put in the position to have to live at that place of emptiness, and then other people literally that's how they serve, like that's their lifestyle. Interesting. It's interesting to think about.
Yo, one of the most interesting songs on this joint is Forgive Them Father. I find it crazy. Like after listening to it a million times, I'm like, for one, I mean, it sounds fly, but then you forget that, like, you know, seeing that she had the spiritual background, like Jesus was saying, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do, while being hung on a whole cross. You know what I'm saying? And it's like actually forgiving somebody is a very difficult task. And like, I think if we listen to the song and seeing how, like, especially her, she talked about it from different standpoints, like the business side. But how do I, like, how hard is it? This is for both of you. I guess, you know what, Jay, we start with you. Like, Jay, how difficult do you feel it? I know you like to hold a grudge. Last time I checked.
I could hold a grudge.
Last time I checked.
I still got a grudge for someone since high school. That was like 8 years ago. I don't even remember what it is. I just hear their name and
So how do
Get
you
me wrong?
have you worked on forgiveness at all? Like, what is the process of forgiveness like for you, fam?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I have. Like I don't.
You haven't forgiven?
Like I've forgiven people before, but like I've never. I don't think I have a process. I guess it depends how wrong they've done me.
Okay, so you're holding on to a grudge with somebody you don't remember why, but you hold on to this grudge.
Yeah,
Do you
I
want to
remember
just let
why.
it go?
I remember why. No, I'm not gonna let it go. The man that did me dirty, and karma came back and got him, double fold.
So if
And
Carmen came back and got him, why did
man,
you let
fuck
it
that
go?
nigga, man. Fuck that nigga till he die.
Wait, what's
I
your
mean,
sign?
huh?
What's
I'm a
your
Gemini.
Oh,
And I just found out I have a Libra moon. I don't know what that means, but
I have a
Oh.
Gemini moon.
Me too, girl.
For real?
Yeah, Gemini moon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
oh
So
snap.
moods and emotions and kind of like how we experience the world. Interesting. So there's some similarities here. Okay.
Can you hold on? Break that down one time, because people be saying all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
no, I mean I'm not too deep in it. But generally, so you got your sun sign, which is kind of like the one that people are most familiar with. And then you got your moon, which is your moon is like your emotions, moods, your feelings. It's like what you kind of think of yourself the most as, and it's your personality when you're like the most comfortable, right? So it's like your sun is kind of like your identity, your role, kind of how you present most of the time, and then the moon is kind of the next most known. So my moon is a Gemini, which is interesting because Geminis are known to be very adaptable, pulled in different directions. Like they have to kind of create meaning, but then they're also kind of known to have two sides of them. Like they're known to have
I've been told that.
the two very opposite sides of them.
So
In conflict. They're usually
So Jay, with that being said, I know you know who you are now.
He knows who he is.
You gonna let this shit go?
Heavens no. He never apologized.
Well, why is it so hard for you to let it go?
All right, I'll tell the story.
No,
It's
it don't
story
need.
time.
I don't need the whole.
You want the story? Okay.
No, I need the inner emotions of why do you feel like you gotta hold on to this? Why can't you just forget that, man?
I'm very sensitive when it comes to my mother.
Okay.
The man talked about my mother in a very nasty way, and then found out why I'm so sensitive about my mother, and then proceeded for 2 weeks straight come up to me and ask me to fight.
Now let me ask you something.
For 2 weeks straight.
If karma got him,
Karma got him. Karma done got him.
Why still hold on to this?
It's the lack of respect for me. That's what it is. I don't know. I could forgive a lot of things, but some things are just hard for me to forgive. It's like, I forgiven you, Tyler.
Yeah.
You broke my heart once, my friend. And broke my heart. It took me a while to forgive you. It's actually my grandmother who told me to forgive you. Thank that woman. We would have never had a podcast.
So
that's round. Dang. No, it's cool. I won't ask.
Don't need that. What is
I'm gonna tell that story one day.
We will.
Great story.
What is so hard about forgiving somebody?
I don't know. I never really even thought about it till now, to be honest. I just be holding grudges.
I can't hold a grudge.
You can't hold a grudge? How come? Why can't you hold a grudge?
Tyler, no, I let things go. So I don't forget things, but I don't do well holding on to things. I think it's how I operate. Like I don't like having things just sitting, lingering, because I'm very all or nothing. So if something is bothering me, that shit's gonna bother me. Like it's really gonna be in my head. It's gonna be intensely on my consciousness. So it's like I like to face it, deal with it, and move on, or like seek resolve from it. I can't just be mad about it. It doesn't, I just can't, I can't operate in that way. I feel very pent up and like just not myself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Having a grudge, keeping a grudge is kind of hard. I like the feeling. I kind of like the feeling. It keeps me on edge.
For most things, I mean, I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I don't have no grudges, but for most things, I'm very quick to like let it go. You know, playing football. Before I played football, I used to really just be upset a lot, and having to like, you know, even if you get like ran over, you got to play the next play. So if you hold that in, you just gonna play bad the rest of the game. Like stuff like that really helped me to like just let stuff.
Yeah.
You know. Because now the older I get, it's just like, why? You know, this is not gonna help me, bro. I could hold like I ain't gonna let this blood pressure.
Well, I personally just when I hold a grudge against someone, I just don't speak to them no more, or just like don't even interact with the person anymore. So like now I'm not interacting with you, I'm not speaking, I'm just not even thinking about it no more at one point. But then when the person comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now. Now I'm good. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a dark side.
But is there something to that? Is it something to that? Like when you hold a grudge for something, could that be like low key just holding you back from something? No. Or nah, it's just like whatever.
Not for me, at least. Honestly, don't even think about my grudges until someone brings them up. So is it really holding a grudge if you don't think about it?
Maybe you just have the ability to kind of compartmentalize it out, or you just kind of made peace with it to a certain extent. And it's just like in your past, which I think is healthy. It's healthy to make peace with things and be able to move forward. But
is compartmentalizing okay? Because in this day and age, right, especially for Black men, everybody like, ooh, let it out. It's okay. Niggas been fine compartmentalizing for years.
I mean, some things you just gotta put aside for later. That's how I feel.
That I'm not
when
the best
do you go back
either.
If you put it aside for later, what's the right time to say, hey, let's go back and deal with this shit?
I think that's the problem with it, is that oftentimes you can't really predict when it's going to come back up, right? Because someone might bring it up, there might be a triggering moment, and then you release the energy that you should have released for it at the time onto someone else or onto a situation that's maybe not really related. So
interesting.
I think that it can be healthy in some ways, but not as like a life practice. Because sometimes you have to, or else you're going to be taken. Like sometimes I feel like part of me has kind of instinctively worked on the ability to compartmentalize, because it's not really been in my nature. I like everything to kind of flow at this, into the same stream of, and I like to just be my same self in all my different spheres. But sometimes it's good to compartmentalize certain things out for your own well-being, I think.
I don't think I compartmentalize personally. I think I just hold grudges because I'm an open book. Like, I express myself all the time. Like, some might say I talk too much when I get comfortable, of course, but that makes sense. Like, just going with the flow. Like, cause that's how I usually am. I just go with the flow. Like, if something bothers me, I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm not gonna just keep it inside and then just never let it out. But like, I think maybe it's like certain levels to it. Like something has to like, if it's like to a certain extent where it's like, if I do act, it's going to be worse than it should. I think that's when I start to like reel it in a little bit.
You ever been on the other side of that? I only say that I was just thinking about it, like my wife, right? When we was like preparing to get married, she never technically forgave me for what I did to her. So it was the funniest thing. She called me on the road. I'm coming back home, and she was just like, I just want to let you know I finally forgive you. And So it was kind of weird, but I also was like, I wasn't looking for it no more. I was just, I feel like I should have responded, but I was like, I wasn't really looking for it no more. I just figured I just keep loving you, but I appreciate that. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You didn't want me to forgive you? I was like, I'm not saying I didn't want you to forgive me, but like, if you did, you still with me. So you still with me. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I appreciate I gave it that real, like, such a nigga response. Like, so you don't want me to come over? I'm not saying I don't want you to come over. I'm just saying if you ain't coming, it's cool. But if you did, it's cool. that's just like what I did with this. What ought to be said. Have you ever been on the other side of like, all right, somebody not really rocking with you? You know why, but but it's like I feel like I'm a better person now. I don't know what you want from me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I ain't shit.
Don't talk so bad about this.
In some ways, I think that forgiveness piece is huge. I think I've been on that other side in some capacity, but it was kind of like a mutual experience. But I think it's more so like, you got to forgive yourself, and then like the other person forgiving you, is definitely kind of an affirmation, or like the other person. For me, it comes down to understanding, but also to tie it back to the Lauryn Hill song. She keeps repeating that, forgive them for they know not what they do. So that's like her kind of acknowledging, like, listen, I'm gonna forgive the person, basically, and I already know that they don't even know what they did or have done. And that's very powerful to me, because especially as someone who kind of requires a level of communication and understanding to forgive or be forgiven. Like, I think in the times where I've been on that other side, where I've messed up, where I've been a certain way and like hurt somebody, it's been like, I feel the need to kind of explain myself, but I don't think forgiveness really requires that. I think forgiveness is just like, yeah, I'm gonna forgive you because it's kind of like my duty, as like it's from like, kind of starts with me.
That's almost like a form of like self-love, right? Form of self-care.
Yeah.
Letting that go.
Yeah.
Speaking of love, this album was that topic, love is a major component.
Yeah, it sure is.
Of the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because the whole album, so I've just found this out recently that her and Wyclef like actually did have an affair. At least he said it in his book. And I felt like the whole album, like when she was talking about love, was her learning to like love
that nigga.
And yeah, love and learn to love herself, like love in general, and like get away from that situation. Because at first, when she wanted to make this album, he was not for it. He didn't want her to make the album. He didn't want her to do any solo projects. Nah, Fugees, you stay with the Fugees. And it was like he was kind of trying to have control over her. And
hey,
it was
dog.
like, it was crazy because he had a whole ass wife. She has a whole ass they weren't married, whole ass boyfriend, but they're still like a thing. And it's like,
it's a
her
weird
talking
situation.
about love so much. It felt like it was like a dissertation of her like trying to figure out what love is.
She came out firing at that man. Lost One?
Yeah.
Lost One was straight at that man.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. They had a whole thing going. Like, even from when they first met, like the other dude who was in Fugees, Prez, yeah, he was like, because he knew her first. And then when she came in, Wyclef was like, who's that? He was like, nah, she's too young for you. Because she was still like 17, 16 when they first met. And I think there's there's either 6 or 8 year age difference between them. So like, that's when it was like, that's when it started. Like when she was like 16, 17, he was like, who's that? And he was like, nah, she's too young for you. He was like overprotective of her. But as time with the Fugees and stuff, they started having a relationship. And even Wyclef said in his book that like, she was like his muse. So like, right?
But
Like,
anyway,
even when
I'm
he was
not gonna say
married,
that.
he was like, she's still my muse. And then once she had her baby, he was like, oh, she's not my muse anymore. It's just weird.
Wow.
Was that Wycliffe Child?
No.
Okay,
It was
okay.
it was
I
Bob,
ain't
one of
trying to
Bob
stir no
Marley's
drama.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was one
okay.
of
That's
Bob
what's
Marley's
up.
kids.
Yeah.
That's what's.
One of them 20. I don't
It's
know which
crazy
one.
to think the album. She was like 21, 22
And she was pregnant at the time.
when she made the album. She was only like early 20s, and she's speaking on all these things. And it's like she really been through too much. I mean, who am I to say it? But it felt like she's been through so much at such an early age. It's
Right.
like it's pretty wild. But
Yeah.
but all right, let me get back on. Well, not back on topic, but Jordan, what would you say is like? Be real general. I like your definition of love.
Real, but if there's anyone to ask, no, I'm kidding. That's a great question. My definition of love is it's kind of a experience with, well, I think that love is when you give yourself to someone without fear, and you experience a level of freedom in your connection to them that is like very reciprocal. So I think it's like this, and I think love is like a very reciprocal, life-giving energy, that is just very powerful. And not just, I think just love in general, doesn't, not just romantic love, but just love in general. It's just like this force that is like, I said this earlier this week, but like I think for me, love and fear are opposite frequencies. So the moments that I've experienced love the most, it's like there's zero fear, even if that shit don't make sense. And not to say that, I mean, I think that another sign of love is like it being fruitful. So it's like I think that it's unfortunate, like love is always going to be kind of tainted by our human experience. So you can experience pure love in a tainted context with a flawed human being. So that's why like the human experience with love is so complex, I think. But love itself, I think, is its own separate kind of entity. At least that's my belief. That's my belief.
Let that breathe.
Yes, I
let that breathe for a second. It's funny you say love can be tainted sometimes. I think, of course, we heard that a lot in X Factor.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting how. Dang, what she say?
No, X
Like,
Factor hits.
That's hard, bro.
Factor
And
hits.
it's like, I do think a lot of people relate pain to love. It's like a lot of people stay with somebody because they went through some real like tough stuff together. And people be like, I'll do this for you. Or what's that one movie Jamie Foxx was running and the nigga bit his hand? I thought this is what I thought about when listening to the song. It was like, I don't think pain shouldn't be related to love. You know what I'm saying? Like she wants her whoever she talking about. She wants him to live for her. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always say, I die for you. Or even they say that to themselves. Like, I die for my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I want you to die, my G.
They put like their life on the line for love.
Yeah.
But like, what is living, Jay? When she say live for me, I guess I'll just ask you what you think about that, Jay.
Live for you?
Live for me.
I feel like it's deeper than saying I die for you. Like if you ask someone, I feel like if someone says you live for me, that means they want you to be there. Like if you be like, oh, I'm gonna die for my niggas, I'm gonna die for my woman, I'll die for my family. It's like, why are you associating like your love with death?
Mm-hmm.
Can't you live for your family? Live for your woman. Live for your.
That's harder to do,
loved
to
one.
be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she gets real at that end part. She's like, cry for me. You say you die for me. Give to me. Why won't you live for me? Care for me. You say you care for me. She just keeps repeating that, and she's like, but she does say, then she says, cry for me. You say you die for me. Give to me. Why won't you live for me? She just like asking for something. I feel that shit though, because I think that love is such a visceral experience that when it changes, sometimes you just want to feel something from that person that you experience love with. And it's not always meant to be that way. That doesn't mean that you're supposed to experience that. But I recognize the real in her expression of being like, yo, you said you did this, you said you live, you said you die, you said you do something. What's up? Where you at? Like,
It's like express yourself, nigga. Damn.
How you gonna say you live for me, you die for me, and you ain't here at all? Like, then she gets really real with that.
Hey, bro, like how many single black women done played this song? I wonder if there's like a real statistic. Like, I think Charlemagne used to say like he got sick of this song. His mama would play it like on repeat all the time. Couldn't stand this joke.
It's intense.
And she's not even asking for a lot at the end of the day.
She ain't asking for money.
Yeah.
Nah, she wants the first verse. It could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard.
That is that's the motto of a nigga. Man, she just wanted me to be there, so I'm gonna stay right here, man.
But they say keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I ain't do that though. Like I said before, there's so many times in my past, like all I really had to do was show up, or at least attempt to try and show up. But I did. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Presence is huge.
It's a big thing.
Yeah. I gotta work on that.
Really,
get off my
Jay?
phone. Remember, we talked about this. I be throwing my phone across the room now.
I'm still having
just trying to be present.
Just to not be on your phone.
Yeah, like just be present in the moment when I'm
still struggling.
Yeah, when I'm with my girl, I'm just like, gotta get off my phone, throw it aside, get off my computer.
I feel it now. I feel when she looking. I'll be scrolling.
Oh, you get a look,
she used to take my phone and throw it, but now I'll be scrolling and I'll just like feel something, and I'll be like, put the phone down. As soon as I put the phone down, she'd be like, I'm about to throw it. You lucky. I just felt that joke. Oh my goodness. Presence.
Presence is real. No, that's real. It's not easy though to be present because we have so much stuff distracting us.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of distractions in the world these days.
A lot.
How are you staying present, Jordan?
How am I staying present? I haven't achieved it, but when I am present, I think that I am doing something that I like remind myself like I'm doing something that I like love or care about or I'm passionate about. And it's like, yeah, it's almost just like a little like inner voice, like, yeah, this is something that like you enjoy this. Why are you like kind of not experiencing this fully by being on your phone or by doing a million things at once? Like, just do this, like enjoy this. Rituals help me to stay present. And when I say rituals, nothing too crazy, like making coffee. Like I'm a very ritualistic person, like making coffee for myself or others, like is very meditative, or like even a drink, or even just kind of like, doing a quick meditation, just kind of getting into a like shifting my mindset. slowing down and shifting my mindset helps me to be present, because I'm often doing like 10 things at a time. So when I just kind of like gradually like just stop and like be still for a second, or like be like, okay, cool, we're about to make this drink, sit down, focus, or just be. I have to be very conscious though, because it's not easy for me to be present.
Jay, you got any rituals?
I was honestly trying to think of it myself.
I'm about to say, shit, I wake up. I get out the bed, you feel me? Oh, man, that's funny.
Y'all don't got any rituals?
I'm trying to think.
It's a lazy one. It's more like I always set my phone for 4:30 in the morning, right? And every time that alarm goes off, I set it for 4:50 and go back to bed. Like every day. Every single
That's
day.
your ritual?
But I've been meaning to get up. Like I've been listening to Eric Thomas videos, and he like, get up at 4 a.m. Give yourself some time. That alarm go off, and my body like, nah, bro. Lay back down.
4 a.m. is intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I have my best thoughts.
Listen,
that's how I get my best ideas.
Really, I want to be a morning person. And it's funny, you would think with the coffee, but no, I'm not. Like I can't even. I'm more of an evening person. Like I get stuff done late at night.
I think I'm that way too, but my wife be wanting me to go to bed with her. So my 10 to 12 time that I normally would do something, it's gone now.
Got you in the bed.
I'm not blaming her, but I am. This is all your fault, you.
So my days are flipped. So my 4 a.m. is like my 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So
yeah, I can imagine that.
It's just lonely. So like I just be thinking, and then I be coming up with ideas. Tyler's phone be full of text messages of just all my ideas.
From Jay. I wake up to 10 texts from him with everything we should be doing.
I just be thinking of things. I feel like I'm like destined to work overnight, because if I wasn't working overnight, I wouldn't have any of the ideas I'd be thinking of.
That's cool though, that you're able to find your flow like that. Yeah, because I think it is all about, it's time and space. It's getting in the right frame of mind. Yeah, to just, you know, whether that's 4 a.m. or that's 3 a.m. or just like sometimes, and you know, when I spend a lot of time alone, so it's like, it's not always that my alone time feels like productive. I mean, I enjoy it in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's just like, it feels like it feels like, all right, cool, like I'm kind of over this, or I'm focused on a task. But in those times where I feel like inspired with ideas or concepts or new things, it's dope to be able to have that space to like write an idea down or flesh it out, because not a lot of people have that time or are able to kind of create that time in the midst of their schedules and everything. So yeah.
I got one more question before we get into the quick hitters, man. Before the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, the actual song. For one, I love it. It reminds me of like a real classic Stevie Wonder joint. Love me some Stevie. But she talks about, you know, living up to her own expectations and not other people's. I know I'm still working on that. Even trying to figure out what I'm doing. You know, we go to school. I go to school. You know, we all went to college. It's all right, go to college, get a job, do all this and that. But I don't know if anybody has been like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I guess Jordan, you kind of on that track. But how was the process? How was the process of like not living up to someone else's expectation of what they think you should be doing?
Yeah, I encountered that. I faced that quite a bit in different aspects, but it's interesting because I was raised with like a very high kind of standard for things, you know, like do well in school, have a certain kind of relationship with God, and prioritize, you know, this, or, you know, and I've channeled a lot of those values, like I said earlier, into how I live my life, and still do. But I think to take a an approach that other people find just not the best or not the wisest, right? Or even some of my just personal decisions, people are like, what are you do? Like, what are you doing, dog? And it's and it's not even.
I ain't laughing at you.
It's cool though, because it's like, I think that you have to really let go of ego. I think that revelation just hit me now, just right now, because I'm thinking about it as I say it, because I'm figuring it out right now. But I think it's you got to let go of your ego and just like take away any kind of pride and really believe in how you're living. Like you're not doing it just to gratify yourself, but you're doing it because, like, yes, it's you believe something good is going to come from it, or you believe that you're gaining what you need to gain from it. And I was talking to an older friend of mine, mentor, who I really care about and who's just like giving me so many gems, like without even trying, about how to live life. Also an artist, musician. He basically is always telling me, like, literally his answer to most things are like, do it. His answer to most things are like, yeah, like very unamused, because just believes like if it's on your consciousness to do it, and it's something that you feel like you can handle, experience it, learn from it, keep moving. Like no one's expectations or kind of guidance is going to be in your ear day and night. Like, yeah, you want to have a support system and you want to care about you want to take into account the people that care about you, their opinions, and them wanting you have a stable life and things like that. But at the same time, you got to live for you, because at the end of the day, you just got you. You know what I'm saying? You just got you. So yeah, just letting go of pride, doing what you believe in, and then taking the lessons as they come. You also can't skip the lessons or the consequences. That's another thing I have to remind myself of in living that life of not subscribing to the expectations of others. It's like, all right, cool. Then you got to be willing to like live, like, and experience and figure things out. Yeah, but definitely not easier said than done, I will say, because there's always those expectations in the back of your head that you've placed on yourself based on others' expectations on you from when you were a kid.
Yeah, I've definitely
they're
been
not all bad either. They're not even all bad, but you just got to choose, what you want for your life.
Most of my life, I feel like I've been trying to prove people wrong. Like it started with sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody tell you some trash or whatnot. But then I just feel like there's always something. There's always like the way I moved for a while. It just felt like there's always somebody like telling me. I don't even know if it was something I did purposely in the back of my mind, like telling me I was trash or like.
Was you doing the Jordan thing? Where like you just make a rivalry with someone in your head.
You know what? I think I kind of did, man.
Like you make up like what that dude. What was that dude on the Wizards who went off? He told himself that he was like, good game, just to be mad, to keep pushing himself to be better, just to kill the dude the next game.
I'm gonna say this, and I hope it don't sound bad, right? Part of me, especially after I graduated college, like motivation to go make sure I get a job and I got money and I'm doing good, was just to make sure my ex couldn't say I wasn't shit. But I realized she was gonna say that anyway. She gonna say it anyway.
I'm dead.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really learning right now to do a lot of things for my own validation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do things for yourself.
For myself. I know my parents got a lot of expectations for me. I hope that I've already made them proud. So it's like everything I can do from here on out has to be for myself and like my family. So like, the things I deem gonna make me happy. Which I'm still in this process of just figuring out. I gotta meditate a little bit more, just a little bit. But Jay, how you feel about that, man? Where you at in that process?
Of proving people wrong or just not feeling expectations?
Yeah, expectations. Do you feel like you have expectations?
For myself? Yeah, I guess so.
Do you feel like you have to meet anybody else's?
Nah, I don't care.
I knew you were gonna say
like,
this. I just had to
like I don't care. I was never like I was never like worried about like what other people expected of me. Me and my family, like, they didn't expect much. So like when you aren't expecting much of, like, you don't worry about people's expectations of you. You get what I'm saying? Like, they didn't expect, like, they just was like, go to school, good grades, go to college, good grades, no graduate. They don't even care if I had good grades. It's like, just get what you gotta do done, and then
yeah. All right, man.
Like, I never had to feel anyone's expectations of me unless I made them for myself.
I respect that, bro. I respect that. Let's go ahead and get into the quick hitters. Jordan,
Okay.
say something real quick. Okay, don't worry about the audio. I mean the video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We still hear you on the audio end, so it's all good.
I'll just replace you with a picture.
All right. Favorite song on the album? Jay. Get Jordan some time. Jay, what's your favorite song on the album, man?
Hold on, let me look at the track list one more time. Doo-wop. Reminds me of my mom. I remember we used to sing that song in the car when I was a kid. Fine. So like, that's my favorite song. Every time I hear it, I just like think of like driving in the car with my mom in the back seat.
Could that song have been made in 2021? You think that would have got some kickback?
I don't think
so.
What?
Could that song have been made in 20? Could that song have been made in this time without any type of the slut walk people? Or
oh my God!
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it could have been made today.
You think it would have been? I personally think that song. I don't know how the song was received back then, but it's a dope song to me. Like, real successful in my mind. So I just feel like, would it have been? Like, would it have been? I'm curious if it would have been as big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just something. That's.
I don't know if the kind of vibe would be as embraced. You know what I'm saying? It has it's a dope song, but it has it has a unique energy.
Indeed. Jordan, what's your favorite song on the album?
It's a tough one. It's between X Factor and Zion, which we talked about both of those a bit. Zion, again, I think is just beautiful, poetic, like it moves me. And then X Factor, I feel like is very real. And it's also just like something you want to just like turn up all the way and just like blast and like vibe. Like, I was playing it in the car, I was just like going in. It's between those two. I would have to say. I mean, although there's other songs that speak to me as well.
I'm gonna go with Lost Ones just because I'm a hip hop head, and that's one of the best openings. That's one of the best openings to me.
She did come in strong with that.
Came in strong, like the way the beat came in and everything.
Yeah,
I loved it. I mean, had the melody and the bars. Yep. So I like that. All right.
The hardest question.
Worst song on the album. Yes.
Yeah. Hardest question. Worst? I can't even think of one. I just agree with everyone else says.
Be a man.
I can't think of one.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Real quick.
Yeah.
I got a 1A, 1B for best song. I got Lost Ones and Nothing Even Matters. Oh my goodness. That song,
Nothing
that's
Even
like
Matters,
icing on the cake for this project.
Yeah,
that was icing on the cake.
D'Angelo.
All right, back.
That is a good one.
Oh,
and my boy, my boy D'Angelo's on that.
I love this song, man.
Yeah.
D'Angelo with his V-cut abs.
No, that's good.
I just think of that. Every time I hear D'Angelo, I just think of that music video. As a child, I didn't know what that was. Abs. I was like, is that what a six-pack looks like? What's the V? I didn't know that was a thing. I was looking at my stomach. I ain't got one of those.
If I had a worse song, I'll just go with the song I normally skip, and that's normally Every Ghetto, Every City.
I skipped that one too.
I was thinking
probably because Nothing Even Matters is next.
Maybe,
but
okay. Yeah, I don't think I've taken the time to really listen to that song all the way through.
It's like a, ode to the past. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Favorite feature. Yeah.
On the project?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be D'Angelo. Yeah.
Nothing.
I was gonna say Carlos Santana.
Yeah. On the guitar?
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
I'm a fan of Carlos Santana.
I respect that.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige had a strong showing, but
she did.
D'Angelo, man.
Yeah, he did. I like Carlos Santana personally.
He the Maria one, right?
Yeah, Maria. I can't sing.
Sing it, Jay. Come on.
West Side Story.
But Jay?
That's all I know. I don't know lyrics. Did he sing? Was that him singing? No?
Yeah. I think so. Wyclef made that beat, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he took that beat from Cash Rules Everything Around Me. He just sped it up. That shit's crazy.
Wyclef wanted to produce this whole album, and she said no.
I'd have told him no too.
At first, like I said, he didn't want her to do it, and then he came around. He's like, you know what? I'll produce the whole thing. And she said, nah, I'm good.
I'm glad he did. This album is amazing. This joint would have been all types of craziness. By the way, real quick, man, let's make one thing clear about the Fugees. And this is gonna be real disrespectful. The Fugees was Lauryn Hill and two other niggas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care about the production and all that woo-de-woo. If you did not have Lauryn Hill, they would not be fire.
Wyclef claims he wrote all their raps.
I don't believe it at all. I don't care. I don't even care. If Lauryn Hill's not in that group, Fugees, fam, her verse or Ready or Not is just one of my favorite. Oh my goodness. I ain't gonna get to rapping. I'm not gonna do it. But just know.
Go ahead.
I play my enemies like a game of chess where I rest no stress if you don't smoke zest less. All right, I'm done. I ain't gonna get into the whole. Anyway.
It's too much. You can't give it too much.
Jordan, we we normally do the Three Kings, but it's Women's History Month. And this is our three for this episode. Now last week for Hotels, we had Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi, and Nicki Minaj. This week, first of all, let me apologize to Rhapsody. Rhapsody, I'm sorry. You are one of the top MCs, hip hop artists, lyricists in the game right now. I just want to apologize for not putting you in that top three, the three queens hip hop right now. So we kicked Meg Thee Stallion off of this list. We kicked Meg off.
Sorry, Meg.
Sorry, Meg. So we got our three queens.
Your name's Meg, like Family Guy.
I just did not think of that. Our three queens are Rhapsody, Cardi B, and Nicki. Do you respect this list, Jordan?
Lil' Kim.
Stop. We talking about now the same way we do because we do Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. Like who's the Drake, Cole, and Kendrick on the women's side of hip hop?
Would I change that? Would I change anything about that? Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I'm not gonna lie. This makes me uncomfortable. I definitely Rhapsody, mad respect, but something about the content of a lot of my female MCs, it's hard for me to resonate and vibe with, to be quite honest. You know what I'm saying? But I respect them for their work and for their, you know what I'm saying, they're real and their contribution. And some of the songs definitely hit. But in terms of like, am I a fan? Am I like, am I rocking to these songs like in my spare time? Like to be, Cardi. You said who are the other two? Nicki. I've actually probably had more times vibing out to Nicki like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the she has some really good tracks on one of her projects.
Pink print.
Yeah, I think it was the Pink. Yeah, it was Pink, right? What was it? What was the full project called?
I think it was the Pink print. Yeah.
Exactly. See, and that was absolutely the album of hers that stood out to me the most.
We do this list to ask, you listen to the show, so where would you?
Yeah,
this is a hard one.
You can replace one of these artists if you want, but where would you put these three? And if you don't feel like you could hear any of them in there, you don't have to be forced to put it. But where would you put any of these three in this album?
Interesting.
I think Rhapsody on Lost ones. We're gonna have bars on bars.
Dang, I just thought about that. You took mine.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking of Rhapsody.
Oh, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Cardi, see, I can't even imagine. I don't even know where Cardi would.
Who could you imagine? Like, what artist today could you imagine on this album?
Yeah, it's a good question.
No, you can go.
Does it have to be MC?
I could definitely see someone like her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Her can get on anything, man. Her can just rock. She's just amazing. Definitely her. I think Summer Walker would be interesting.
I was thinking that too.
On like Nothing Even Matters. So imagine Nothing Even Matters with like a like Summer Walker like verse added in.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I feel like the music would have to like slightly alter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know, bro. She just not. I mean, look.
You listened to her album?
I did. It's not better than Snow. I like the same time that album.
We wasn't comparing it to Snow.
I know, but what I'm saying is the same time, was it around the same time her project dropped? Snow's joint was out, and I wasn't listening to nothing else. There wasn't nothing you was gonna tell me. Like that album. That album is crazy.
No, that's real.
All right, my bad. I got a little emotional. Most definitely.
Snow could probably
I
hop
can see her on it.
Most definitely.
This is a hard question. We gotta really evaluate these three women.
The women thing is hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
especially with rap. We know Rhapsody, right? But then it's like, because a lot of the other women that rap, like, bro, Tierra Whack, she cool, but it's hard to put her in that category because she had an album where each song was only a minute, and, and I was like, dang, I don't know how to judge it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's tough. That's tough. I know there's another one. Like, you got your Tinks.
Yeah, Tank.
I just thought of somebody.
Wow.
Yeah,
Janelle Monáe.
Didn't even think about it.
Cause she throws a little bit of rap into her
Queen. I'm sorry, Queen. How could I ever forget you? Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Nah, she goes in. She could definitely, just in general, I think she's one of the greats. And
yeah. I feel like it's hard to get Lauryn Hill on anything because she's so late all the time.
Don't talk about it like that.
She always late. That's why the Fugees what you call reunion album never got made because she kept showing up late to the sessions. That's why the reunion tour reunion tour didn't work out either because she kept showing up late too.
She really don't. Late. She really don't.
You'll have a show and then just not show up.
I think that is.
Dang.
Am I missing any questions?
She do got 6 kids, so that makes sense.
It's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Shout out to Zion. He the only one got on the track. Zion the only one got a song. He can talk all the trash in the world. Right.
It's because he's the first. He only 23.
He's the only one that made it.
That's crazy.
He just turned 23. It's crazy, right? I saw a picture of him. Looked him up.
All right, man.
He looks like his father.
We gonna take it to the register. we gonna take it to the register. Jordan is a chance, say what you want to say about the episode, about the album. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah, no. This was great. I appreciated chopping it up with you guys and diving into this album. I'm glad I could revisit it for this as well, just for my own ears and inspiration. So yeah, I think that this is one of those albums that will it's definitely, I consider it timeless in my mind. I think that's the appropriate word for it. And yeah, grateful to be able to reflect with you guys on it too. So thanks for having me. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for listening. I like to tell people thanks for listening, even in just I don't know if I've said that recently, but it's something that I used to make it a point to do because I can also talk a lot when I'm in that space. So I just find it important to be like, yo, thanks for listening, man. So yeah, I just want to say that to you guys and to the listeners as well. So
Jay,
bless.
What you got to say, Brody?
Yes.
Dang, that's my least favorite part. Well, first I want to say thank you, Jordan, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I like hearing your perspective on things. Very interesting. This album,
thank you.
One of the greats, reminds me of growing up, driving in the car. All these songs used to be on the radio. Most of these songs was on the radio. So growing up as a kid, all we had was the radio back then. And it just brought back great, good memories for me. Overall, that's basically it I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm not good at ending the things. I've never been good at concluding things, man. I'm so bad at this. This is a running joke now. I'm not good at this.
All right. Jordan, thank you once again. Thank you for being on the episode. We really appreciate you coming on. Which is all. It's always
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
To witness what you've been able to do is a blessing. It's really it's influential. It's something I aspire to do in my own way, in my own version. So I just want to, give you a flower. I just hope you continue to have success. You know what I'm saying? Everybody check out her website, rhemajordan.com. Check out her Instagram, rhema.jordan. Go and support her.
Rhema Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rhema Jordan.
My bad. Rhema Jordan.
Yes.
Art. Yep. On IG.
Support her.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Owner of 2 of her paintings. Yes.
Collector.
I'm a whole collector.
You a whole collector.
Just collecting things.
I
collecting
try.
art, collecting
Black art
collection.
collectors.
Look at you. Proud of you, my brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate. No, Tyler, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you and my best friend's support in all things. It's huge for me. It's super inspiring to keep going, and glad we can kind of share in our projects too, in our passions and our projects, and just see each other grow, keep building. Jay, it's great to, even I don't, it's kind of one of my first times chopping it up. It just feels like, it just feels like level ground, and you can't always meet people there. So it's good to just be able to talk for real, and share with people too. So this platform is dope for that reason, because you're really just sharing and talking, and then giving other people the opportunity to kind of connect with your thoughts and your opinions, and there's power in that,
There you
so
go.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
Before I close out, once again, man, Lauryn Hill, top 5. Top 5. You can debate me. Please hit me up. Hit us up on No Clearance Pod if you feel like you can debate this.
On all social medias.
On all social
we
media
everywhere,
platforms.
man.
We are No Clearance Pod on all social media.
We about to have a clubhouse once I figure that out.
Real quick, man, shout out to our first female guest. Shout out to Devin. She defended her PhD. I think that's what they call it. She officially got her PhD today. So shout out to Dev.
Wasn't she our first guest?
She was our first female. Laura was our first guest.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right.
Yes. And today on this Tuesday is the anniversary of the passing of Biggie Smalls. So, once again, RIP to Big.
Before we go,
what you gonna
before
say?
we go, I gotta say, rest in peace, Ma Scott. Today was her funeral. I wasn't able to go, but I just want to say, rest in peace. You made the best pound cake I ever had in my life.
Shout out to the pound cake.
Have fun up there with everyone else up in heaven.
Indeed.
Have yourself a party. Go to the club.
Yes.
Go to the club. Hey, that club in heaven gotta be fire, right? It gotta be fire, right?
She up there.
Hey, free drinks, no security.
It gotta be, man.
Everybody paying you down, no line.
You ain't gotta worry about nobody shooting up the club.
No line, bro.
All those people are somewhere else. I don't want to say.
DJ Fire.
I'm dead.
All right, man. To all of our listeners, once again, we just want to say thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the No Clearance Podcast. To our brothers out there, please make it home. And to our black women especially, we love you. It's the No Clearance Podcast. Peace.
Peace.